You won't need discipline after watching this video because hard things will actually feel enjoyable and you'll actually crave doing them. I know this sounds crazy, but please hear me out. I had problems with discipline pretty much all my life. I never could stick to something and I never could stick to new habits, be consistent in them. It just always was my problem. I even didn't pass a class in school because of this problem. I wasn't even consistent with my workouts, which was pretty terrific for me because I really did want to achieve my great physique and actually make progress in training. But a few months ago, something clicked. I figured out that problem isn't discipline or lack of consistency. The problem was my identity. I identified myself as a person who procrastinates, who has problem with discipline. And that's why my brain tried to prove to me that it's true. Once I started thinking about myself like a person who trains, who studies, who is actually consistent, disciplined, and doesn't have problems with procrastination, that's the moment where I started to feel better about myself and actually started doing those hard things. And actually, I started craving them and finding fun, a lot of fun in them. Okay, but how can you change your identity also? Your brain is advanced machine which is really amazing. Like, it can do anything you want it to. But you're lucky. It doesn't recognize lies. So you can lie to your brain and he will believe it and he actually will do anything you want him to. Which means that if you will start telling yourself that you are disciplined, that you are consistent, that you are new version of yourself, he will believe it. And I know this sounds pretty sketchy, but trust me, it works that way. And it is one single way which led me to being productive, which led me to sticking to all my habits and actually achieving my goals in different areas of my life. I want the same for you, so please listen carefully. The most powerful thing which you can say about yourself is statement which start with I. For example, I am blah blah blah. It's the most powerful thing you can possibly say, and most people use it wrong because most people who say I am usually follow up with something like tired, I am bored, I am something negative. So how can you use it in a way that positively affects you? Basically, whatever you do, whatever positive thing you do, for example, you took a shower, tell yourself, autistically, tell yourself that you are disciplined. Damn, I'm so disciplined, I just did cold shower, I'm amazing. And if you start telling yourself over and over that you're amazing, disciplined, that's who you're going to become. But of course, it doesn't work that way that you're saying to yourself, I'm an athlete, and you suddenly become one. You need to take action also. But taking action when when your mind actually thinks that you are athlete is pretty easy. But first, you need to make your mind believe it. How? Using emotions. You need to tell yourself something with enough positive emotions so that your mind will believe it. What I mean is, don't just tell yourself, I'm an athlete. Yeah, I pretty much like sports. I'm so fit, I'm so healthy. Don't do that. Instead, try to do that in a way that actually convinces your mind. So for example, do 10 push-ups, hype yourself up, and tell yourself you're amazing, disciplined, athlete, you just did 10 push-ups, you're amazing. Autistically try to convince yourself that you are what you wanna be. When you'll think about it, identity always creates in an emotional state of your mind. For example, maybe your teacher was shouting at you and told you that you are lazy, useless, and you don't even know what you're doing. And in this moment, you were highly emotional about what your teacher is telling you. And that's why it impacted you so much. When somebody would tell you like, you're lazy, and it would be somebody which you don't even care about, it wouldn't affect you at all. But it's a teacher, it's somebody who's hiring whole hierarchy of men, and he's telling you that you are doing something wrong and that there is something wrong with you. That's why it impacts you so bad. So, what can you do to impact yourself so much with positive things. Try to get emotional about your success. So whatever you do, maybe you did a workout, hype yourself up, tap yourself on the shoulder, I don't know, maybe talk to yourself in a way that makes you emotional. Be grateful for you that you did this workout. And do this every time you do something that future version of yourself would do. It reinforces your identity and helps you to create it in such a beautiful, better way. So every time you take action on something you really wanted to, just hype yourself up, tell yourself you're great, and you'll see that your mind is slowly shifting this identity in your advantage. On the other hand, please avoid doing something like waking up and saying, oh, I didn't sleep good, I'm tired. Because now your mind is trying to convince you that you're tired, that you are right. And that's not a good way to live. If you tell yourself you're tired, you're tired. If you tell yourself that you have so much energy, and I don't know, maybe jump for a minute, you will have this energy. It's amazing, it works that way, and it's one biggest thing that helped me to get my life together. I really hope that this video will help you. Subscribe if it did, like it also, and see you at another one. Bye.